chapters run out. You know, so it's how early can you realize these chapters matter? These pages in these chapters, they really, really matter. How early can you realize that?
So to get to me, you have to go down this dirt road, right? Like through some rice fields until you reach the lake, and then you have to get on a boat and cross the lake to get to me.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, like some movie stuff.
Yeah, so every day, best, I guess, example of different perspectives is that in the village, they had never been around black people. I was only, they hadn't been around black people at all, right?
And they don't have, do they have TV?
No, there was nothing there, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like nothing.
So they don't, no phones?
No, bro, some girl lost her phone, and like, they were trying to find it, but like, the chief of the village didn't really even know how to explain it to the villagers about what the phone was.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, we're looking for this small rectangle thing.
Wow.
And, yeah, they're just like, what?
What'd you graduate college with?
Bachelor of Political Science, a minor in business.
You know what's funny? My boy, Alex, same exact thing.
Really?
Did you want to do law school?
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't that shit crazy?
Yeah.
But it's like, you didn't want to do law school, like, I just want to do business.
Yeah, bro.
I want to do sales, that's it.
Law school makes it seem like,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, law school.
Yeah.
Once you realize, you're like,
I'm not trying to read all that.
yeah, bro, it's not that well.
Yeah.
Right, so if me and you apply for a government job,
Uh-huh.
we have the same credentials,
Yeah.
but I have this stamp, this non-competitive eligibility, they'll pick me over you. They have to.
Wow. And what is it called?
Non-competitive eligibility.
Oh, okay. Alright, so welcome to another edition of The Credentials. I'm your host, Charles, and we have another illustrious guest in the building, my dog, Martin Alexis. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
My dog is a University of Florida graduate. He's also someone that was in Theta fraternity like myself. Shout out Ox, shout out the boys, shout out Seb. He's also someone that has a degree in political science with a minor in concentration in business, and now he's a consultant with a financial service company in Miami, and he's also done something where he taught in a jungle.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
For the Peace Corps, in Guyana to be exact. And fun fact, Guyana is actually in South America. It's not in Africa, but it sounds like Ghana.
It sounds like everyone thinks I say Ghana.
Yeah.
Everybody, like,
Yeah.
oh, what part of Africa?
Yeah. You know, so like I said, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking some time out your day.
Of course, bro. Thanks for having me.
All right, so
Honor.
let's get straight to it. How was the jungle, bro? How was the jungle? What are we talking here? Like, you had to, like, did you bathe in the lake or something?
Yeah, exactly that. Like, we lived right on a lake.
Really?
Right on the lake. Yeah, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Right? But the lake was used for everything. Right? You shower there every morning, every afternoon. You know, it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because you see, like, everyone in the village is down there. Everyone's having a good time in the morning and shit. So it was really cool. The water's, like, black. They call it the black water.
Wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to heal your wounds. And if you drink from it, you're supposed to come back.
What is that experience like?
That experience was amazing, like to say the least. Right, I was just finished my sophomore year of college, and I just went out there.
How much was the ticket? How much did you hustle
to get there?
Yeah,
that was like $2,500.
Wow.
Easily. No question asked. Like, that shit was expensive.
Easily. You know, but that shows, you know, how much it really meant to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
And how when you are committed to your purpose, you'll figure it out. Even if you don't have it, when you're committed to your purpose and you believe, you'll make it happen.
You'll make it happen, bro.
You'll
Once
find
you set your mind onto something, that's all you need.
Exactly. And because who would have known about standard patient? You would have never known about that unless you had to get $2,500 and be like, all right, I'm gonna learn today.
Give my body to the medical school.
Yeah. But also, it's like, how crazy it is the fact that we do have a great medical program at UF to where they have the funding. We're thinking next level, you know, they have the funding to be like, let's give our students a chance to look at a live body. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go to Broward College and be like,
No,
you know what I'm saying?
not.
Or I don't know, maybe you can. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, when you open yourself up to it, you're like, I'm gonna figure it out. You know, it's kind of like,
when you need money, you gotta be willing to do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know, And I feel like, most people need to have the grind in them. And like, I know you have the grind in you. You know, I know that you got that spirit.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you said, it's when you put yourself in that uncomfortable situation, you know, because you could easily just be like, maybe next time, you know.
Maybe next time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'll work in the summer and then I'll go next year. But it's like, nah.
You gotta go.
I know I want to give back and I know this is my opportunity. Let me just attack it and then let me plan. You know what I'm saying? It's like action, then plan.
Worry about it after.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about before about opportunities. You can't let opportunities pass you.
Exactly.
Right? If I pushed it off like a year later, I probably would never have done it.
Real talk.
You know?
Real talk.
Like, life's too much for me right now. Let me push it off to another year or push it off to another year. Nah.
Real talk.
Do it right now.
Real talk.
Right
it's
now.
just like this. This is right now. It's like I really want to get your story, your experiences, like, cause like I always was curious of like what were you doing? You know, in these countries, like what was it like?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I want to hear about it now because I think, especially you know in this month, you know, being February and this time period, it's cool exposure. You know, exposure to different experiences because there's probably people like you that want to do something similar and like want to get back but don't even know how or don't know what it takes.
Exactly.
You know, and are too shy or too, you know, just or don't have the exposure to it.
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I want to talk to you about this because I feel like, you know, once you hear about all these trips internationally, everyone there is white.
Yeah.
You know, like, and they're the ones, you know, taking advantage, traveling, and like having these global perspectives. But like, more people that look like us should like. I know it's harder, right, for a lot of people, but like, travel experience. That's something that broadens your soul more than anything else. You know, getting that global perspective. And I love being able to talk to you about this. And like, I guess the whole idea of this podcast is for people that look like us to be like, oh wow, I can go travel somewhere else and give back. You know, like there's so much more out there. And like, that global perspective is everything.
Yeah.
It's everything, especially when you're young.
Yeah, exactly. You know? And it shows you to be more appreciative.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, like what they say, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like like we don't know what you got until you don't got it.
Exactly.
You don't know what you got. Like even sometimes, you know, for me, I went to Europe and I was like, everyone in my family who was with me can tell you that. I wasn't with it. It wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? Yes. All right, I'm gonna take a picture behind like a cool backdrop, but it's like Shaq's behind me. It's like, is this really dope?
Is it? Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, we're in America. Like, there's food everywhere. There's good food everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Even quote unquote the bad food tastes good.
It's good, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
Kentucky
so
Fried Chicken is not good for you, but it tastes good.
It tastes good. Just set it up like that.
You know, McDonald's isn't good for you, but it tastes good and it's affordable. Except in New York. When I went to New York, I was like, y'all don't have $1 menu?
For real?
Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, you have to spend at least $2.
Yeah, damn, that sucks.
Like there's literally no doubt.
High class McDonald's.
No, everywhere from the good areas to the not so good areas. There's literally no dollar menu. I was like, wow.
Wow, McDonald's really trying to squeeze people like that, huh?
No, just New York. That's New York.
Oh,
That's a New York
cost
thing.
of living is just much higher.
And that's when it really hit me. Like the cost of living here is different. Like y'all literally don't have $1 menu. And what's crazy too, like also from like a produce standpoint, if we're going food, like they had no produce.
Yeah, I bet. Where
they had like I had to
get the fresh
fruits. Yeah,
and
I had to get
vegetables.
fruits from the smoothie shop, like on the subway.
Yeah,
it was fire. It was
I bet
fire.
it was.
Yeah, but I feel like
damn.
I'm like, damn, do they just have a monopoly on all the fresh fruits? But also, I didn't really know the cuts and spots. There's fresh fruit there, but like you have to know how to get to it
to know where you're going.
Yeah, especially because it's not like Publix is, you know what I'm saying, big shop. It's like bodegas that look like they blend in, and it's like, oh, y'all got I got everything in here.
You got the mangoes.
Yeah, you got the fresh vegetables and everything, but you gotta know how to navigate that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like going back to your traveling. It's just like you have to know or at least be exposed into what it takes before or what's possible before you can take advantage.
Exactly.
You can't take advantage of something you don't know about.
Exactly. How are you gonna know about it unless you go do it?
Yeah.
Right. Or I guess unless someone shows you.
Or be in an environment. You have to be in an environment, because someone doesn't have to show you, but if someone's not showing you, you have to be in that environment. And then it comes to the next level of self-awareness. Are you aware of these opportunities? They don't just come
They don't just come.
Like you're only, in that position of like high school or college, technically once, because once you're done with it, you're done with it. It's not like, all right, I get my degrees, let me go pretend I don't have them, get them again.
Do this all over again.
Yeah, no, you can get a higher degree, but once you get to higher level of education, it's a different experience.
It's different. Yeah, it's different ballgame.
Yeah, it's a different experience. Going back to Laos, right?
Oh, yes.
What was that like? What was the scenery like? Describe the scenery, just describe those experiences.
Yeah, so we touched down in Luang Prabang. I don't know if I said that properly. I probably messed that up.
Shout out Luang.
Shout out Luang Prabang.
Yeah.
And, so that place was cool, right? It was like the second biggest village there, or town, right? So this one had like cars and like little bikes and stuff.
So is this in like China, Japan?
No, so this is like Southeast Asia, right? So like smack in between Thailand and Vietnam.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So this place is like.
Oh, so it's like a state, the equivalent of like a state, like in between like Florida and Texas is Louisiana, kind of like that type of.
But it's its own country.
Yeah, but countries is a state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how I like to equate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and so this place is like very, very Buddhist. Like conservatively Buddhist. Yeah, I mean, actually, one of the things that we did the first day, there's this ceremony called right? So in the morning, the monks, they walk around, and like people are just putting rice in their bowls because that's all they eat for the whole day, right? So I think they can't eat after like 12, right? So from 6 to like 12, or I think we did it like 6 in the morning, right? They have like this whole bowl and they walk around and people just put like rice in there for them, and pretty much they just eat that bowl of rice for that whole morning, and then they're done for the day.
Wow.
Right, so they're like very conservatively Buddhist there. There's like temples everywhere.
Wow.
Got to explore the temples and stuff.
What was that like? Temples, like describe that.
Temples like beautiful on the inside. Like there's gold everywhere, and like there's paintings and stuff all over them, and it's really spiritual there. Like very much so. We were able to like meditate with the monks like in their temples and stuff.
Damn.
And, like,
so not everyone, just the monks do the rice in the morning.
Yeah, those are just the monks.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody else is living, kind of like the rat race.
Yeah.
A little bit, because this is like a bigger town, right? So there's like little shops and stuff, and but that's not where we stayed for the most part, right? So after that was just like where the airport was. Right?
Where they get you.
So yeah, exactly. Like, all right, enjoy this for like the next day, and then after that it was like 4 hour 4 hours in a van.
All right, let's go to Orlando.
Let's go.
Let's leave Miami. Go to Orlando.
Straight to the jungle. So yeah, it was like 4 hours in a van going through the mountains, right? Because there's mountains everywhere, man. Everywhere. It's beautiful. So you're going 4 hours through the mountains, and then like an hour down a river, and eventually we get to like this little village. It's called Sopchen.
Okay.
Right, and we were like the first group of like volunteers to be there. Right, so I guess let me give some background. The main goal for our trip there was to make a water tank for them.
Oh,
right,
okay.
because their clean source of water was 6 kilometers away.
Wow.
Right, so
Give United, describe their background. Are they like a houses for homes type of like program where like they build stuff, they go to different countries and build stuff?
Yeah, so pretty much. So it's give volunteers, and they only have a few places, right? So it's like Nicaragua, Tanzania, Laos, and Nepal. And Thailand, right? So yeah, they do a little bit of both, right? So you do construction projects, like sustainable construction projects. So one of the things that we did, we instead of bricks, right, we would get like these water bottles and pack them with sand and dirt and like trash, and eventually they would become as strong as bricks. Like they built whole schools with these bricks.
Wow.
Like completely sturdy. Like yeah, these things are amazing, right? So sustainable development is I guess the goal, but then also on the side, you have another half of volunteers who do like teaching, right? So if you want, you can go help with the construction, or you can help teach English in the village. Right?
So what'd you do?
I did a little bit of both, but mainly the construction because there was more, I guess. Because I was a sophomore in college, I was a little younger. I wanted that adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Why not? I came to a jungle and you might as well explore it. Yeah.
That was way cooler because we had to pipe, 6 kilometers worth of piping.
Wow.
Right? So we were like going up and down like the mountain with pipes and like trying to attach things, and it was it was wild. Yeah.
Talk about the Peace Corps. What was your motivation, your inspiration behind that?
So for the Peace Corps, I always knew I wanted to help people. And going into college, I knew I wanted to join the Peace Corps, right? So in high school, I had a class, like an anthropology class, and the teacher actually brought somebody who was in the Peace Corps there, and she was, talking about her experience and stuff. I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. But it was in the back of my mind, didn't really know this is something I wanted to do. Then flash forwards to college, I was like, all right, well I need to do something that's like helpful and worthwhile to the world. So one day I was. This kind of belongs, not that long story, but it's kind of how I started.
It's all good.
But,
we got time.
Yeah. Good.
We got time. I'm with you with it.
So, one day I was walking through campus, right? You're walking through, like, the big main area in, like, Turlington. Mm-hmm. And, people are always passing out flyers and stuff, and you always try to pay attention, like, act like you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
You don't want people to talk to you.
Well, I was actually one of those people handing out flyers.
Yeah, well, I became one of those people after.
They get you. They
get you. So one person, I'm walking, and they're like, hey, do you like adventure and want to help people? And I was like, those are my 2 favorite things. What do you mean? So he gives me a flyer, right? So it's this organization called Give Volunteers, right? Shout out Give. And pretty much they had locations, all across the world, like South America, Africa, Southeast Asia, where you would go there for a few weeks and, give back, like, be a part of the community and, like, help them and give back, right? So I was like, this is awesome, but I didn't have any money, right? And you need money to go there. You need to buy the plane ticket and stuff. So I hustled. I hustled a lot. Like I did jobs like all over UF. I was a bouncer for a while at Shucks, if you remember Shucks, and then Saga and stuff. I did a standardized patient, right?
What is that?
So that's pretty much you help the med school, right? But you're like their test subject.
Oh,
right. So pretty much they call you in like, all right, so the students are learning about like, I don't know, back injuries and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you gotta pretend like you have a back injury, and then the students have to come and do all these tests on you. Or if you do ultrasounds, that's what I did a lot, right? So that was kind of cool, because you just like lay on your back.
Yeah.
So they would come and do ultrasounds and like, look at your insides and like ooh and ah, because they're learning it in class.
Wow.
Right? So like, oh yeah, this is your spleen, and this is, I'm just like laying back, just like.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, it was random things like that, and hustled so that I could, go. And so I ended up deciding going to Southeast Asia, right? So Laos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like right between Vietnam and Thailand. It's like a small country.
So that was the first time you did it?
Yeah, first time.
You paid $2,500 for the ticket, and then after that, do they cover like board?
Yeah, so that's the thing. You do have to pay more for the trip because they pay for all your meals and you pay for you to stay. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's like another $1.5 grand. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm telling you. I hustled. I hustled because you can't. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And I realized like this is how I want to travel.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend if you want to go to Southeast Asia. Yeah, go to Southeast Asia. Mm-hmm. You're gonna spend the same amount of money that I spent just being a tourist.
Yeah.
Right. You're never gonna talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You're never gonna learn what the people are actually doing. You're just gonna go take pictures of some stuff and then leave. Mm-hmm. And like, do you really know about the country? Yeah, the biggest thing is talking to the people, right? Like getting to know the community, and like that's why I like traveling like that, because then I get to know the community, right? Because I think that's where the knowledge is. Talking to the people and getting them. So best, I guess, example of different perspectives is that in the village, they had never been around black people. I was only, they hadn't been around black people at all, right?
And they don't have, do they have TV?
No, there was nothing there, exactly. Wow. Yeah, it was like nothing.
So they don't, no phones?
No, bro, some girl lost her phone, and like, they were trying to find it, but like, the chief of the village didn't really even know how to explain it to the villagers about what the phone was.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, we're looking for this small rectangle thing.
Wow.
And yeah, they're just like, what?
And you would think like, what is this, 2018, 2019?
This was 2015.
2015.
2015,
but even 2015, you'd think like, oh, everybody knows what at least a phone is. It's like,
but yeah, there's places that are just untouched, you know?
Yeah.
Like I told you, this is 4 hours around the mountain and 1 hour down a river. Like, this is pretty,
How many people would you say, like, lives in this?
In the village?
Yeah.
There was probably at least, like, 300. Right? So it's a small village. Like, 300 might sound like a big number, but, like, it's not.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a good neighborhood.
Exactly.
Like a good suburban neighborhood.
Maybe half of a suburban neighborhood, you know? Like,
true.
Because each household can
you know?
You
can miss 5, 6.
If you really want to, you can be squeezing a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true. Wait, so besides building infrastructure for Laos, what else would you say is a memorable or experience from that time?
The reason why I shout out Give Volunteers because they do a good job at like trying to integrate you with the history and like understanding about what's going on, because I think a lot of what happens is like, you know, white kids go on this trip and they're like, oh yeah, I left so woke, you know, I did so much good stuff, but like didn't actually, you know, learn anything. You know, they just put on the front and then tried to do all these different things. But this organization did a pretty good job because we had like, you know, guides and we learned about the history. So one of the things that we did, they took us on a trip to like a cave, right? It was awesome, right? It was awesome. Like this cave was huge in the middle of a mountain.
Wow.
And yeah, our guys.
In the daytime or night?
No, in daytime. No. Because like, listen, you can't be walking through the jungle at night. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Okay, I just see what kind of jungle we talking about. Yeah, no, this is a real jungle.
Walking to the cave, you got like leeches on your leg. You gotta pull them off. Yeah.
Oh,
no joke, my man. No
so
joke.
Did you guys wear? Y'all didn't wear shoes.
Yeah, we had shoes. I have my sneakers and.
But they like eat through it.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, they don't really have shoes like we do.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
And like a lot of them, you know, if you're one of the men who work in the field and stuff, you have like the long boots, right? So that does help, but yeah.
But wear and tear. That's
wear and tear.
one.
Yeah, you get one pair of boots for however long.
For 40 years.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. So you're in the cave.
But yeah, this cave, and then I'm just like, wow, just like, you know, just being a little tourist in the cave, like climbing rocks and stuff, saying how cool this cave is, and then the guide's like, all right, but like, a lot happened in these caves, you know, like people during the Vietnam War, like villages came into these caves and they hid in them, you know, because we were just bombing indiscriminately. Like we were like the Ho Chi Minh Trail for Vietnam passed through Laos, so we just bombed everything there, you know. Wow. We bombed them completely.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, like, you know, a lot of pain is in these caves, you know, and you guys need to understand that, like where you come from, like you guys inflicted a lot of pain on this place, and like where I'm showing you right now is where people had to hide for a long time.
Damn.
You know, and that's one of those things that sticks with me because, you know, I'm not, like, that's when I feel like I'm not a tourist anymore. I'm like, I'm a student. You know, I'm learning about the world because, like, you know, you hear in textbooks, you hear about the war, you hear about all these different things, but, you know, you don't put a face to the people who are actually affected by it. And then I feel like that changes you, like, maybe a little bit, changes your perspective about how, you know, you see yourself as an American and then you see yourself walking, you know, to other places.
Yeah, humanizing yourself.
Yeah.
And empathy. It's more about just learning empathy.
Empathy, bro, for everybody.
Empathy. Once you can learn to empathize and realize, like, damn, this could have been us.
Yep.
Or the roles, we're just lucky the roles weren't reversed, because if the roles were reversed, this is what happens. Then people start to realize, you know, it's kind of like going back to politics. You know, it's like, just empathize with the situation. It's not even about choosing a side per se. It's more of like just empathize with what's going on and realize how like hypocritical it is. You know what I'm
Understand
saying?
We're all people.
Yeah.
You know, we're all people.
Yeah.
Stuff that makes you sad probably makes me sad.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Like the skin don't mean nothing.
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean
anything.
Oh, honestly, this is what it means. It means what climate you're best suited for.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's
exactly,
what it really means.
Exactly.
That's what it really means.
Exactly.
That's what your skin means. Because lots of people say it doesn't mean anything, but if we're gonna be real about it, let's answer the question.
Yeah.
This is what it means.
Yeah.
You're best suited for this type of weather.
That's it.
You're best suited for that type of weather. That's what it means.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't be projecting other thoughts and ideas.
Everything else, no, because
we bleed the same.
Yeah, exactly. You got the same organs.
Yeah.
Your ultrasound, another person's ultrasound is pretty much the same
stuff.
exact thing.
Yep.
You know, and that's what it really comes down to, realizing that. You know what I'm saying? So going back to Laos, you're in this cave, and then Basically, did they take you through it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the cave was just pretty much walked through the cave. Mm-hmm. It's a huge cave.
Yeah. And were there like animals in there?
No, well there's bats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but besides that, no, there was nothing hanging out in there. Dude, to get inside the cave, we had to like, crawl like on all fours, like military crawl,
bear crawl type
through like this little tunnel in there, and you're just like, wow, a lot of people had to go through this just to hide.
Wow. So is it like one of those things like in the movies where it's like a small entrance and then you do a little bear crawl, then it's like a big open space?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it just opens up into like vast, like it's huge.
And but there's no water. Is there water? Is
there's
there
when you go further in the cave, there's like a little stream that goes through it.
Okay. So then you do. And how long were you at Laos for?
I was only there for like 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was like that was just a taste.
Yeah. But damn, y'all built the whole infrastructure thing.
No, we didn't build the whole wall because then after that, like more groups keep coming.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
So our group, every after we leave, a group is already on its way to come finish the rest. So by the time it's like the end of the summer, the whole tank is done. So like what our group was able to accomplish was the piping. Right, the 6 kilometers of
infrastructure.
Yeah. And
laying down the wood.
Yeah, pretty much laying down the wood. We leveled the ground, made like a foundation.
Alright, you were at Laos, you were digging through caves, right? You were exploring in Southeast Asia. So then you go into the Peace Corps. So describe what the Peace Corps is and how it works.
Yeah, so the Peace Corps is a government organization, right? It's like United States Peace Corps. Shout out the government. So the Peace Corps, so at most universities, they actually have like a Peace Corps representative there.
Really?
Yeah, so you can get the job really by, because they'll pay for your grad school if you decide to be a person
what?
who's like a Peace Corps rep there. Yeah.
How long you have to be in the program for them to pay for your grad school?
For the Peace Corps?
Yeah.
Oh, you just complete the Peace Corps. It's like 2 years.
What?
Right, so I guess I'll explain about the Peace Corps a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's a gem right there.
It's 2 years, right? Okay. So you're over there for 2 years, but then when you leave, they have like some benefits, right? So there's like scholarship opportunities called Coverdale, so they'll help pay for those things like that. And then if you want to be a recruiter or anything, or like one of the counselors, like I was talking about at different universities, they'll pay for your schools, and they actually give you something called non-competitive eligibility. Right. So pretty much, if you want to work for the government, any government job, it's like the stamp of approval that you have that like anybody else, like it puts you over all the other applicants, essentially. Right? So if me and you apply for a government job, we have the same credentials, but I have this stamp, this non-competitive eligibility, they'll pick me over you. They have to.
Wow. And what is it called?
Non-competitive eligibility.
Everyone else can't compete.
Yeah.
I win.
Exactly.
Wow. The more you know, bro.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
I gotta plug the Peace Corps, right? Like we were talking about this earlier. We gotta let other people like us know that these opportunities exist.
Yeah.
Right? You can go see the world.
Or anyone.
Anyone. But I feel like there's less people like us going on these trips.
Come on, say how many people look like you were on this trip?
Bro, there was one other black man on the trip. There was like 4 or 5 people of color in total out of a group of 38.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like most people, they're, white. They come from America,
And it's not even to knock it, it's just that like for instance for me, like when we go to these experiences, it would be nice to see more people that can assimilate or understand what you're going through, like culturally, you know what I'm saying, or just whatever. It'd be nice to I'm pretty sure it's nice the opposite way around. Okay, this feels comfortable.
Hey, let me tell you, bro, being in the country of other brown people, I felt so comfortable there. I felt so comfortable. I was like, oh, this is what white people feel like all the time. Just like blending in.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like for me being in Harlem, it felt good, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro.
I believe
I'm not even gonna lie. It was like, damn, all right.
Oh, everyone looks like me.
It just feels, you know what I'm saying? So it's like more like you said, exposure. Exposure creates elevation, right?
Exactly.
So it's just more about, because I didn't know. That's a great way for someone that's graduating or about to graduate college, looking for another alternative on how they can get grad school paid for. You know what I'm saying?
Give back. Just go join the Peace Corps, give back a little bit.
There it is.
Expand your horizons, and then you're good to go.
So talk about the application process. What is that like?
Yeah, so the application process, you apply, right? You, like I said, if you're in college, most universities, but especially like the bigger ones like University of Florida, they have someone there who's there to guide you through the process, right? They're here to help you. Yeah,
like a counselor.
Exactly, okay. Like a counselor. They're here to help you how you word things in the application, because there's like a type of person that Peace Corps is looking for, right? They want to make sure you're open-minded, willing to, embrace new experiences, willing to start initiatives, right? Because they can't just send anybody there, right? Like my group started with 38, we were down to like 20-something people by the time we left. Right, it's because it's not made for everybody. You know,
for real.
People go over there and think it's gonna be rainbows and sunshine until you're, pooping in a hole, showering in a lake.
That's real. That's real. Because I don't think I'm built for that. To be real with you, and that's also that's crazy. But that's also a good way too. At the same time, it's like it's also exposure in terms of also figuring out, is this something that you really want?
Exactly. Well, even then, like you say that you're probably not built for that, but I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I don't believe you. Like it's gonna suck for a while, but then like.
It's about, do you want to do it?
Exactly. It's do you want to do it? Right? Because everyone around you in the village lives like this, so there's no reason why you can't live like that. Like they're people too. Yeah. So it's just uncomfortable. Right? Because you come from somewhere that has everything, and then you go somewhere that has less, right? And then you just have to be used to less. Like that's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's hard. That's hard for anyone.
Yeah,
that's it. Hard. Like, what makes you so comfortable with that?
That's a good question. I like being uncomfortable. Like I guess the idea is to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, because then after that, anything is comfortable. Right? Like I'm not really afraid of a lot of situations anymore now that I lived in a place where I had bats living in my house with me, like on all hours of the night, and like
that's real.
It's hard to be intimidated by a lot of situations, right?
That's real.
So I don't know. I think you just have to be willing to be open-minded, right? Because there's so much to learn abroad, right? So much, like
that's real. Because we're just one style of living. There's thousands of styles of living. There's thousands of ways of doing it. Because I think the end goal is what? Happiness and fulfillment.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like there's basically what we're trying to say is there are multiple ways to find happiness and fulfillment.
Exactly. Like we only know the American way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You go somewhere else, you see, oh wow, they're all as happy as I am. Like, what?
Yeah. And even also just embracing what you got.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And realizing like, how can I be mad when I got bed, I got food,
air conditioning,
air conditioning, washing machine and dryer,
running water, electricity, exactly. It humbles you. It definitely humbles you. And like, I think a lot of people who do these experiences, they want to be humbled, right? So they can come back and I guess be a little humbler.
Yeah. For me, even going into the U.S., like from going from Florida to South Carolina to work an internship. When I came back to South Florida, I was like, wow, because I was in Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
One strip town. Like when you wear suits, like you're considered a preacher. That's it. Like
really, this is like small town.
Yeah. Working an internship. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then
how was that? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So that was being from South Florida. That was a culture shock. I was like, what is this? Like literally one store, like one mall. You got, I think like a Piggly Wiggly was the grocery store. No high-end grocery stores, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gyms, schools. There's literally a church on every block. And it was something where, like if you were like no one with wealth lived in the town.
Wow. Everyone
lived like 30-45 minutes outside the town. And I was doing sales for Vector Marketing. I always shout them out. That gave me my experiences. I was doing sales, and all the well-to-do people were like literally 30-45 minutes outside of the town, because it was like there's nothing
here.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was living inside of a one bedroom hotel efficiency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that really just gave me perspective. And that sit down.
You see, you don't have to go far to get perspective. Yeah. You don't have to go far.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like going back to you, and that's the same way. I feel the same way in terms of you just have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Even if you don't want to do it, it's just like we got put in life situations where we're uncomfortable.
Exactly.
And now it's like you gotta live with it and know that it's coming regardless. You know, even if you have a non-uncomfortable childhood, at some point the way life works is gonna get uncomfortable.
It will.
It's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just because at some point, you know, not to get morbid, but to get real, at some point it closes.
Yeah.
You know, at some point there's the chapters run out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's how early can you realize these chapters matter? These pages in these chapters, they really, really matter. How early can you realize that? And how early can you realize at the same time there's other books?
There are other books, exactly. Well, that's why I think right now is a good time because COVID is making everybody uncomfortable, and then that's where, you know, you'll see who comes out of that. Mm-hmm. Right? Like you started a podcast.
Yeah. No, real talk.
It's the hustle, you know?
Real talk.
Like,
real talk.
It made everybody uncomfortable, and then the people who are real come out of it, you know, stronger.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And going back to my friend, West Tech Do-Rags, they made their do-rag business during the pandemic.
COVID.
You know what I'm saying? A couple of business partners got laid off or whatever, had their hours changed, and then they're like, let's do this.
Let's do this, yeah.
You know?
Take this opportunity.
Yeah, let's do this. So during the process, is it like a phone interview, in-person interview?
Yeah, so there was 2 phone interviews.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, it's your generic interview, right? They want to know about your application and, like, you know, if you're gonna be able to, you know, be in a place like this. Yeah. Or be in a different environment and I guess the biggest thing is having an open mind and being willing, right? That's kind of like the key, the buzzwords that, especially like the Peace Corps counselor was giving me. He was like, yeah, make sure you tell them you're open-minded, right? You're willing to learn and you know, put that out there by yourself. I mean, which was not even like a front. Right, I'm someone who is like that. Exactly. Right, so I mean that's why I feel like there's a lot of young people who are like that. Right, and you just gotta put yourself out there and know that there's, you know, opportunities like this.
That's real talk. And honestly, to relate that's why it's doing something like this is cool, because it's putting yourself out there. And I realized, you know, during COVID, you gotta it's okay to talk about your meaningful accomplishments. You know, you have to at some point, because at the end of the day, that's what an interview is. Exactly. You know, how can you talk about your meaningful accomplishments in a way that shows that you can contribute and add value? You know, or if you're starting your own thing, how can you talk about your accomplishments in a way that people can see this is a product or a service I should be invested in because the track record or the mission or a combination or the person or whatever the case may be. You gotta share your wins, because in an interview, open-minded. And look how open-minded I was. I went to Laos.
I did all
Look what I did in Laos. I built it. You know, you have to gas it up. Exactly. You know, and honestly, that's not my way. I like to let my experiences talk for themselves, but it's like going back to exposure. How is someone gonna know you're doing all this stuff if you gotta be uncomfortable and just say it. I had to say it. All right, I did this. I did that.
I did it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
How else are you gonna inspire people?
Yeah.
You know, how are people gonna get excited about something that you're excited about if you don't tell them what you did?
Exactly.
You know,
that's real talk.
Like this whole podcast is for the young people. It's for the youngins, and it's you know, you gotta hype yourself up to hype them up about themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Realize that's just how going back to realizing your area, right? Because in America, to be successful in our environment, it's a business service environment. You have to do that. And what you're saying, well, like you're coming on, you're saying that, you know, in other countries, just like we're saying, and honestly in other states, you know, also we're in a very capitalistic state in Florida, you know, but in other states, it's not like that. You don't have to put yourself out there or stuff like that. But if you want to do great things, or if you feel like you can do great things, then you have to do that.
You gotta do it. You gotta get out there.
Yeah, if you really want to do the great stuff, you know, like if you want to do good stuff and happiness and fulfillment, it's, you know what I'm saying? Though there's different ways to get it, but if you want to do the greatness, it requires putting yourself out there. It requires being uncomfortable. It requires this is. You try to be great. Yeah, you want to do something great. You want to do something. If you want to go do something really meaningful, you have to. Cause someone has to support it.
Like someone has to, doing anything.
Yeah. And someone has to, and it's not free.
Exactly. I mean, then your actions speak louder than your words, right? You can talk about wanting to do something all day, every day, but unless you go out there and start trying to do it, it's not gonna happen.
Exactly. So 2 phone interviews and then an in-person interview.
No, it wasn't. No.
Okay, then they just
because they're stationed in like DC.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it's people from all over the state.
And then they just email you, hey, you've been selected.
Hey, you did it. Yeah.
Lit email. That's a lit email.
Yeah, congratulations. You're being shipped off to another country.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the first country you go to?
So we flew to Philly. Right, because Philly they have like a 2-day.
Like a training.
2-day training. Okay. Yeah, and then after that they fly straight to Guyana, and then we have 3 months of training. Right, so technically we're there for 27 months.
Oh wow.
In Guyana, right? Because the Peace Corps is 2 years, but you have 3 months of training.
So, and it's 2 years at one location.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One location, same country, same village that you're at. Because like, personally, I don't even think 2 years is long enough. Right? Because like for you to make a difference in your community, like this is at like the community level. Like you need to like build capacity within people. Right? Like you step into the community and you're a leader already. You know, like people look up to you, people rely on you to try to help them fix things. You know?
And so, time.
Everything takes time.
Everything
takes time.
Whether you like it or not.
Exactly. You can't force anything. You know, like being dropped in a village that you've never, don't know anything about. It takes a while for people to get comfortable with you and willing to open up with you and willing to accept your help.
Yeah.
They need to accept you as a person before they accept your help.
Real talk. Real talk.
So your boy was out there, we had this heritage festival, right? Because I was living in an indigenous village, right? So they have a month that celebrates indigenous culture. So first I was there for like a month and a half, and they have this whole celebration. I was there dancing.
Yeah.
With indigenous dances. I had the little skirt on, the face painting and stuff. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta be willing to, be part of the culture.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, and it's better to live through experiences and memories, because that means that you've done something worth remembering.
Exactly.
Worth retelling, and that's something you'll never forget.
I'll never, and not to be cliche, but it's the relationships I made down there in the village is what forms all the memories that I have. I did different things here and there that were pretty cool, they're very cool. But it's the relationships I had with the people in my village. I'd like to say I have a second family down there.
Yeah.
Because I have
what do you mean by second family?
Not knock on wood anyway. But I was a family took me under their wing.
Exactly.
And
So with the Peace Corps, do they give you a housing
So I guess I'll explain a little more.
Yeah.
So I was with the family in my first 6 months. Right? And then you live by yourself. Right? So for those 6 months, so for those 6 months, I was part of the family.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I did everything the family did, go to weddings, do all the fun stuff.
You went to weddings?
Parties. Yeah. Dude, everything's happening now.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the fact that your timing worked to where you caught a wedding.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see. There's always weddings, man.
Yeah. I'm that's for a fact. People like people.
People love people.
Yeah, people love people actually. Yeah, even better. People love people. Yeah, I agree with that. But that's cool. The fact that you get to, catch the family and when they get to experience a wedding. So now you gotta say it. So never ever went to a Guyana wedding.
A Guyanese wedding.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The relationship with the families, man. I call her my mom. Naria.
Right.
Shout out Naria.
Yeah. Shout out.
And then everybody, the granny, the aunties, everybody down there was close, man.
Very
close. Yeah.
So describe Guyanese people.
Okay, so that's gonna be a little interesting. So because Guyana has a lot of different cultures in the country, right? So they're the only English-speaking country in South America.
Wow.
But they're Caribbean, right? They identify as Caribbean.
Okay.
Right?
Really?
Yes, very much so. Like they have like their own version of Carnival down there.
Really?
They have floats and everything. They call it Mashramani. And so you got your black people who were slaves. You had Indian people who were indentured.
Enslaved.
Who were enslaved. Yes, who were enslaved.
I'm realizing they realize we have to update the lingo.
Yes, I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's not even calling you out. It's just I realized that too. Like, yeah, you're right. We're slaves. We were enslaved.
Yeah, it's
the subtle big shit. It's a little big shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Yeah, so they were enslaved, and then after that, Indians came because they were indentured servants. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there was always the indigenous people who got dislocated, right? People who were like indigenous, native to the land. And then some Chinese came, Portuguese came. So there's like a whole mixture, but it's predominantly like the big three are African, Indian, and indigenous.
And they all mixed. They made Guyanese.
All mixed, yeah.
Wow.
Much, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It's a lot, right? Yeah. So they have the big food there is curry. Like
really? Okay. Yeah.
Everything's
that's Caribbean vibes.
Yeah, it's Caribbean vibes, right? Like I ate a lot of kinds of food, like all kinds of meats.
Yeah.
And everything was made in curry. Right?
Food and it all tasted delicious.
All tasted delicious.
All homemade.
Exactly. Right. Fire right next to you. Yeah, 100%.
All organic. You know where
you know
your produce
exactly
is coming
where your
from.
food is coming from. You saw that chicken yesterday.
Dap them up.
Yeah, you said, I'll see you tomorrow.
It's gonna taste good as some curry.
Exactly.
Okay, so describe, is it a big city or how many people, or is it like a village?
So Guyana's interesting because so there's a big city, right? The capital, Georgetown. So they have
it's called Georgetown.
Georgetown, yeah. Okay. So they have a KFC. They have like a mall there.
Okay.
They're getting their first Starbucks soon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay.
And then after that, you go further out. It's like rice fields, and people, they have houses, but it's just rice fields, and it's more agricultural. And then where I lived, I was in an indigenous village. So most of the indigenous people got pushed into the forest or like in the jungle. Right, so it's mainly black people, Indian people who live, on the road. I guess is how they call it, the road.
Really?
Right. Yeah, and then all the indigenous people are pushed into like their little locations. Kind of like how we have the reservations here in America, but theirs are much better. Right?
Yeah.
So they're not reservations because they have like their own autonomy, but they're kind of pushed to the side.
So once again, you're in another jungle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So to get to me, you have to go down this dirt road, right? Like through some rice fields until you reach the lake, and then you have to get on a boat and cross the lake to get to me.
What? Wow, like some movie stuff.
Yeah, so every day I needed to get groceries. I needed to hop on a boat.
Really?
And go on the road, yeah.
What? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, okay, now describe, what's the training? What are they training you on?
Yeah, so we're training for a few months. And a lot of the training is actually about, the culture, and being able to, I guess, assimilate and like welcome the culture and not, try to put your cultural biases on people, right? And then also, there's training about like safety and security because like it's not playtime over there, like some serious things happen. Like some people, like to be fair, I was talking about people leaving, but it's not a lot of people. A lot of people leave because they can't handle it, but a lot of people leave because things happen down there that put them in like unsafe situations.
Okay.
Right? Like it's not all fun and games.
Yeah.
Right? So there's like a lot of safety training, but then after that there's like training for, your specific field, right? So I was education, so they were like teaching us, I had experience teaching already, right? But there's more so like how you can target it, especially in a place like that, because the classroom dynamic is way different, right? Like American students are very different to Guyanese students.
So describe that. What's the difference?
So the Guyanese kids, I mean, once they realize you're American, they're much rowdier, right? They don't want to put up with any of it. No. But then you realize that, like, we have a different style of teaching than they didn't do down there, where the kids, after a while, they like, you have a lot of times more affectionate to the kids, right? Because you go there for a reason. You go there to make a difference, right? So the kids actually like really look up to you, and you make a difference for them, right? Like that's why I really like teaching, because here's a quote: "The teacher teaches his students to teach himself." Right? Because then, it was amazing. I was hanging out with a bunch of little kids most of the time, And like, I know it sounds weird, but like it opens your eyes, you know? Little kids are.
But they're so smart.
They're geniuses.
It's the adults that ruin it for the kids.
They throw their own perspective on the kids and stuff.
And their experiences, like the negative ones. You throw all the negative. It's like you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
You know,
you don't have to. The kids are open-minded. Like they're the most open-minded.
Yes. They've had no.
They've had no programming.
Real talk. I was literally just talking about that with my boy Key, like, cause he was worked with the Miami Dolphins for their like youth programs, and he was just saying the same thing, like. They can do the calls and the signals and the motions and read coverage and understanding. It's you just believe in them and talk to them like a kid.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of like with my little cousins. Like, nah, don't talk to them like a baby. No, talk like a real person. Hey, if you don't clean those diapers, I know something.
This is what we're doing.
Right. These groceries cost X amount of dollars each week. Right? Do you really need all these snacks?
It's like, oh no, you're right, Daddy.
Right? Right? It's just because the whole point is to make the person behind you, at least how I feel, right? Make the person behind you a better person, so they make the world. Even if they don't make the world better, they make their lives better.
Exactly. I mean, it's all about the next generation, stress. Man. That's all it is.
Less stress and like, really, wisdom is really like. You can acquire wisdom. You know, you just have to be, like you said, open-minded and willing to acquire it.
Yeah, you can acquire all the wisdom in the world.
All of it. And go through life so much easier.
Yep.
But people don't realize it's still gonna be hard.
Exactly.
It's gonna be very hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Living is hard. It's hard.
Stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, no matter what. You know, there's game changers like COVID. You know, there's just things that it's life. That's just what it is. However, the goal is, you know, well, not the goal, but there's ways to make it not as hard. You have to be willing and open-minded. And even when it's less hard, it still requires sacrifice.
Yep.
So sacrifice on something that you want to sacrifice on. Because you're going to have to sacrifice it. Even to get to the good.
You got to.
You got to sacrifice it. So you figured out, I want to help. I'm willing to sacrifice my TV, my iPhone for a couple of years, so then I can not only make an impact and I can get some benefits with it. You know?
Exactly.
I'm willing to do that. You know, for me, it was like I'm willing to sacrifice a year from school, taking a break in between college, because I could run an office.
Exactly.
And I can have the experience of being the boss.
All about the experience.
Yeah. You know, and the earlier you can get it, the better off you are.
Yep.
You sacrifice on something. Because you're going to have regrets if you don't sacrifice. And the earlier you sacrifice, the better off the reward is.
Exactly. Because then you get used to sacrificing.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you sacrifice for the first time when you're like 30 years old, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Even if you do that at 30, you can still have success. There's people like Samuel L. Jackson was dealing with drug problems until 40s.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's people who don't catch on until late, but it's like, to make it better, catch on earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's what we're doing. We're trying to help these kids.
Yeah, and we're trying to help ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, this is information to me. You know, I wish I would have known. Like, dang, I would have done. See, I wonder if there's Peace Corps. Do they pay for your undergrad?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. They're not that loving.
Not very much. It's still the government. I'm not gonna give you a lie.
Okay. So how does the process work from you, like teaching? Like, is it like Monday through Friday and you just
all Monday through Friday. But what they say is that you're a Peace Corps volunteer 24/7, right? Because my main job was like, I was teaching, but like I said before, like you're a leader in the village, right? You don't want to just be teaching. You want to help build capacity in other ways, right? You want to help lead in different, things that are going on.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to reach out to the aunties and the uncles who are out there and be like, all right, so what do you think needs done? Like, what do you think we need to be doing to help the village work better? You know, I'm not there for 2 years just to be teaching in a school.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of am, but like,
but
there's always work to be done.
bigger than that.
Yeah, there's always work to be done.
Yeah.
You know, so you go down there and you just gotta take initiative.
Damn, that's crazy. Talk about a couple cool traditions, a couple more cool traditions in Guyana that you got to experience.
Okay, so one of them is Mashramani, right? So it's the celebration of like Guyana being a republic, you know, like forming their government and all the fun stuff, right? Mashramani is like an indigenous word for a job well done. So it's like a big celebration, like that's their carnival, right? So it's like a whole month, it's all February, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a party, yeah, right now, Mashramani's right now, yeah.
Let's get it.
Well, COVID changed
Exactly.
But yeah, Mashramani's happening this month.
Wow.
And so normally there's a big like carnival kind of vibe, you know, you go to the Capitol and they've got floats and stuff going on, everyone in the costumes, and feathers and stuff. But personal experience I had with that, I went and partied, all that fun stuff. But one of the highlights was that, so there's different competitions, right, that come at Mashramani, like for the kids, right? So you can have like poetry or like the kids act and like do different things or sing. So one of the things that they did was called physical display, right? And that's pretty much like a cheerleading competition, to say the least, right? The kids have to like, you know, do something coordinated, do some flips and like carry each other and stuff. And so I was like in charge of that, right? Because I had to do stuff. And so last year we did it, and like I was new. I was like, I don't even know what any of this stuff is. So we lost, right? Whatever. And then finally, like the year 2020. Yeah, 2020. Yeah. That was last year.
March.
Oh my God, this was last year. Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, this was last February. And so we set up this whole thing, right? I was like on my phone, like looking up, like trying to get signal and like trying to look up things for like, you know, like cheerleading things and like build pyramids and stuff. And after, you know, I got help from the aunties, and after like, you know, a month's worth of like training, you know,
this is serious.
Like this was so serious that
you weren't going down like last year.
Like I was I was gonna meet the ambassador, like the U.S. ambassador of Guyana, like for a lunch for a lunch, and it was super last minute, and I was like, no, I can't do this because like I
got practice.
I promised my kids, I got practice. Like, sorry, lady, I'll meet you another time. Like, I gotta do this right now.
I rock with you though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And and then we finally did. Those kids put in so much work, my man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the relationships I built is what I'm taking from all of that. You know, because we beat the people who won last year, and we were finally going to nationals, dude. And I'm telling you, like the village, because the village is small. You know, it's like a small indigenous village, and like they were so happy. You know, like none of them had been to nationals before.
So they're gonna like leave their village and get
go
a chance
to the capital.
Exposure. That was gonna be the exposure to make them think and believe more. Did you guys?
No, because COVID happened.
Wow.
Because we got kicked out. Because nationals supposed to be last May, and then we left in March.
Oh man.
We shut it all down.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was tragic. But I mean, dude, just like the energy in the village, like as soon as we came back on that boat, everybody already knew.
Yeah. They found the phone. They found the phone for that.
Yeah.
But damn, that's what we talking about. It's like that exposure. That would have been. I still hope they'll like. You gotta invite them. Like they won. They need their voucher.
You know, some of the kids, we actually went on a field trip once with some of the kids to the Capitol, right? It was not a lot of kids, right? Because not all of them could afford it. It was like only a few. But man, when I'm telling you, those kids, their mind was blown just going to the Capitol. Same country, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
It was blowing their minds, you know? Like escalators. There was an escalator in the mall.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so cute. Like one of the little girls, they would just stay on the elevator and ride it, or the escalator and just ride it. Go up and down. Like, this is incredible.
Yeah, like what is this? Take what is this? You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy is that's the same way in America. If I take that person from South Carolina and I bring them to San Francisco, where it's like robots making sushi, it's like, what is this? What is this?
What's all this traffic?
Yeah. Nah, real talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, like the perspective and like
I'm saying you don't have to go far to get the perspective.
Yeah.
You just gotta leave.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like if you stay in the place where, you know, you grew up the whole time, you get stuck in a mind trap.
Yeah.
Easily. You know, there's no. It's harder to become self-aware if you stay in the same place that's held you down the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Or not even held you down, or was like just a spot that's not common. Like South Florida is not a common area compared to the rest of the U.S.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like with social media, you realize it more and more because like you know, growing up, you didn't hear about no Florida man or like just like you know the running joke with that like or just realizing like Florida is like up like North Florida and South Florida is just two different things.
Different places. They're different states.
You know what I'm saying? It is. Like, you know, for us, we talk about it like going to UF was a culture shock.
Oh yeah.
Like what? This is this is not Florida. This is like Mississippi or something.
That's when I first started seeing actual Confederate flags flying in back to people's trucks. I'm like,
Real talk. Like, wait, what? Like, what is this flag? Like, because then you also think, I'm like, this, because you know our flag, Florida's flag looks like the Confederate flag.
It does, yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying. But I'm thinking like when I went up there, I'm like, okay, this is an alternate logo. All right,
a little twist to our flag here.
It is a different version, but all right. But then you realize like,
places are different.
Yeah, beliefs are different. Perspectives are different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even talking with you, like when I was at UCF, going to college and hearing, you know, people say like, I didn't know black people speak complete sentences.
Yep.
Like, what is that? Like, what is that even?
Who raised you?
Yeah, like, where were you raised?
Yeah.
Then you realize it's a city in Florida? It's like, wait, what?
Yep. You realize there's like communities of people like this.
Yes.
You know, believe it.
In multiple states.
Yep.
Multiple countries. It's just, so whether you like it or not,
it exists.
It exists.
And like that's the thing. You can't stay in South Florida and just be in your bubble. Like it's a good thing that like we experience that kind of stuff, leaving and experiencing it. Because like I look back now, I felt too safe in Miami.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's not even. Honestly, it's not even for us to like say you feel. In my opinion, it's not even to say you feel safe. It's just to understand, like, be appreciative and realize what you can take advantage of.
Yeah.
You know, it's more about like that's what I got. Like, I'm very appreciative. I'm very grateful of things that I can take advantage of. Nothing's free. You know, even if you get a trust fund, the government takes half.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So nothing's free, but it's just more of like being aware of like, or the fact that I live in a state where, I live in a city, you know, a city and state where I can take advantage of opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are different opportunities I can take advantage of. I could work for a professional team. I could work for a marketing sales organization. You know, I could do different things.
A lot of gratitude here. I love it.
Yeah. You know, like you go to different states.
Positive energy.
Yeah, you go to different states. Like, damn, I can only be teacher.
Yep.
Work in the mall. Or, you know, be a business owner, but you're more of like a service provider.
Yep.
You really don't get a chance to be a business owner, you know, because a business owner is more like something that's non-essential that they're trying to make essential.
Yeah, you make your value known.
Yeah. You know, like, do we really need Apple? You know, like such a high quality? No. But we want it. We like it. So that's how it becomes essential. That's why everyone, well, for at least me, like I have an Apple phone and an Apple laptop. It's the Dell, the HP works. It's just as effective, but you know, you like what you like, and some people. Going back to what we said, they're showing their wins. They want to promote themselves and say, "Hey, we're looking to do this. We're looking to be the best brand out there. Come give us a try."
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so once the Peace Corps got shut down, like, what have you been doing from then till now?
Yeah, so Peace Corps had shut down March, like when everything else got shut down.
Yeah.
And I just ended up back home. You know, it was kind of in a weird place because I wasn't supposed to leave for like another 5+ months.
Yeah.
You know, so I was just.
And it was abrupt.
It was my dude. When I tell you it was abrupt.
What was it like? The situation like?
The situation. I'll paint you a picture right now.
Yeah.
I was away from my village, like. Ready, like we were just about to like, you know, have a good time, party. Like we were in another village, like my friend had just come, like cracked open the bottle of rum, he had just picked up some food, we were about to party, and like I get the phone call. You know, it's like, and we're all in a group chat, right? And it's like a message goes through. It's like, hey, like pack your bags, like we're leaving, right? You get a phone call and it's like, hey, yeah, it's like the middle of the day. We're like, yeah, you're getting on the flight at midnight tonight. Pack everything you have for 2 years.
Wow.
And leave. Once I got, I was just like, wait, what?
Wow.
What?
So you guys didn't even know about COVID?
No, we did know about COVID.
Okay.
But like, it was kind of just like.
Yeah, but everyone didn't really realize.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like in Guyana, COVID is not even a thing.
Yeah.
Like they brought us back to America, where the problem was.
Yeah.
You know? And they just left us there.
Yeah. Real talk though, because it's like no one's traveling to Guyana.
Nope.
Yeah.
I would have been chilling, bro, in my little village.
Yeah.
Because once I left, everything was fine over there. They were all just vibing the same way, partying all the time. Like, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of gave us that phone call. I was like, yep, you're leaving. And yeah, even telling my friends that I was with, I was like, hey, yo. It's like my Guyanese people. I was like, oh yeah, I'm leaving. And they're like, what? You're just messing around. What do you think you're leaving? I'm like, yo, not. Like, I'm gone. Like,
yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Rush back home, take a boat. Back
in the boat. Not the boat you think though.
Yeah, no, it's a little boat.
Yeah.
When I got off, I told him, I was like, wait for me, like I'm coming back with all my stuff. Like,
yeah.
So I had to go in my little house and I had to pack everything. Damn. And it was sad because like I was like running around the village. I was like, yo, I'm leaving.
Exactly. You couldn't even proper goodbyes, nothing.
Everyone's at my house. It was funny though because everyone's at my house. Like a lot of the villages there, and they're just taking stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't need this. I don't need that. Like, can I take my pots, my pans? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You can have all this stuff. Like,
exactly.
And and it was just like that. Goodbye.
Damn.
But yeah, it was rough. It was really rough. So back to your question about what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I felt like I was deported for the most part.
Yeah.
So like being back in America, that was definitely rough. You know, it was kind of just like, wow.
Yeah.
Throw you back to like, you know, America where there's all this stuff.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all this stuff, but then you're shut down. Like I haven't seen people in 2 years. Like a lot of my friends and stuff. And I couldn't when I came back. So I'm just like in my little world, just like alone. Obviously with my parents, right? But it's like
it still feels isolating.
It was very isolating.
It feels isolating. A lot of people felt that way though.
Very isolating.
You know, a lot of people felt that way. It does feel isolating because we are social. You know, as much as we like think we're humans, humans just a fancy word for animal.
For animals, yep.
And social animal at that.
Animals with internet.
Yeah. That can understand the internet. They know we're just smart. We're just very you know, as a whole. Once we're exposed to things.
Yeah, once we're exposed to
you know what I'm saying? But it is like we want to be around other people. You know, and it is depressing when you can't.
You can't. Yeah. Like you just can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
or they make it feel that way. You can't.
Yeah. So, but I guess the goal is to not be stuck in that hole. You know, because I know that COVID made that hole for almost everybody.
Exactly.
Right, and like I guess we were talking about this earlier. It's like the ones who shine from that are the ones who make it. Right, but I was in that hole for a while.
Yeah.
Like, for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like I had a buddy of mine reach out to me. Right, I guess this is why it's all about networking. Right, it's all about how the people you know. I had somebody reach out to me, and you know he was doing like financial planning and stuff. And he was telling me, oh yeah, you know, if you just get a couple licenses, like it's fine, you can join my team, right? I was like, oh, perfect, you know, what? I'll do that, right? So I got to a couple of licenses, and yeah, so I joined his team, and then you know we had some differences because I don't like his leadership style was not what I was into, right? Like no, I don't want to talk bad about my friend,
yeah,
but like yeah, it was not a fit,
yeah,
right? Because and
that's real though.
It's real. Yeah, it just happens. It just happens.
You
know, and but I reached out to more connections, right? Because when I was down in Guyana, I made a really good friend who short story. He used to work Wall Street, ended up finishing Wall Street, becoming pretty wealthy, and then moving back to Guyana, and like starting an importing exporting business, right? So he like real close. Like I saw this man like every day, and I reached out to him. I'm like, yo, I got these licenses. Like, you want to hook me up with like you got anything for me? Yeah, any opportunity. He was like, all right, bet. He's like, call this person in Miami.
Yeah.
He sends me their number. Yeah.
That's dope.
So he calls. So I call him. Edgardo, and I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, I know Dudley, and he's like, oh yeah, come by. You know Dudley, yeah, I'll give you a job. So that's why. So I started working at this place. Shout out EM Financial Services, right?
But that's crazy. I like. For me, I'm always conflicted about that because I like that and I don't like it. I like it when like it's earned. You know what I'm saying, in terms of at least you put the work in to get your licenses, and you know what I'm saying, also your experiences, and the fact that you did put the work in, you know, when you're in Guyana and making it impactful. I don't like it when it's just, you get it just because. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always, because I mean that's how it works. That's how everything works. I agree. But at the same time, there should be some type of, what you've done should have some type of say. But
yeah, I mean it's true. Like not everybody can. Like yeah, you can have the connection, but you can't maintain.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the opportunity when it comes to anybody can get thrown an opportunity, but it's the ability to maintain that opportunity.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So I guess it evens out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Well, isn't that the point of networking though?
Yeah.
This is like, I think people need to be comfortable with asking for help, right? Especially when you're in a down situation, right? Like this is why you surround yourself with people, you know, the people that love you, people who are like want to see you do better. You know, this is why you reach out. You're just like, hey, yo, I'm in a place like I need something. Yeah. You know, and it's like, what do you think? Well, because the thing, I reached out to him and I asked him, I was like, what do you think I should do? You know, now I wasn't really asking for hand because he never lived in Miami.
Exactly.
You know, he lived in New York. He lived on Wall Street. Okay. You know, and it just so happened that he had a person in Miami.
If you're in New York, you made money. You know Miami.
You know Miami. Yeah.
You know Miami. You might not live. Actually, you probably did live there. You probably did live there. You just didn't stay there.
You didn't say no. It was weekends.
Yeah. But you know Miami.
Yeah, exactly. He does.
He knows Miami. Right. But anyway, like you said, that's real.
Yeah, it works out because that's the thing. Like he's somebody that we were talking about. You know, opportunities come, and like you meet people in your life that you know you gotta hold on to. Yeah. Right. Because me and him, we had a connection right away. Yeah. You know, because he saw what I was doing. Because he is, you know, his mom is originally from the village I was working in. Wow. Yeah. So he was born in Guyana. Wow. And then you know. Like left and then went.
He's the neighborhood hero.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So he came back and he's like, yeah, building things up. Yeah. It's a great story and like I like to say one of my mentors. You know, he's a strong black guy. Yeah, and like that's real. You need mentors like that. Exactly. And he's like, yo, this is what you should be doing. This is what you can be doing. That's real and talk. Like you know, opened up my eyes to a lot of opportunities, especially like you know, an entrepreneurial aspect of things. And
damn, that's awesome. Shout out Dudley.
Yeah, shout out Dudley, my boy.
Yeah, that's real.
And so.
Now you're there.
Put me there, and
So what licenses do you have?
I got the health insurance license and life insurance. Okay. Right, you can get them at the same time, but separately. Okay. And now the plan is to get a Series 7 license to start doing more of like the investment side of things. Okay. Right, because that's I guess the topic of this podcast is explain to people how they can
explore different opportunities
themselves. Yeah, exactly. Explore different opportunities because
what's out there.
Exactly, because it wasn't until one of my friends reached out to me and explained to me, who got me to get the licenses, that I realized that like, yo, wow, you just need to like study for a little bit. Like I studied for like barely a week to get these licenses. Really? Like literally just like a couple days, and you're just like, all right,
I'm gonna learn.
Take this test. Yeah. And then once you take this test, like you're a fiduciary. Like that's it, just like that. Like you just have to be licensed by the state.
Yeah. And a fiduciary just means someone that is credentialed. Yeah, credentialed to protect your money or invest in your plans.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. And once you just get these licenses, because you can get these licenses, you don't have to graduate college. Right out of high school, you can study for this test and take it, and then you can, do something.
Yeah. And can't you make residual income?
You make residual income, exactly. Like as long as contracts stay in place for years, like you don't have to do anything, and you'll just get paid. So it's like, there's this whole field in like the financial world that like it's not really talked about anywhere. Anywhere. It's just there to be taken. You just take these tests. Yeah. You just get licensed.
So Series 7, you don't need a license for it either? I mean, not a license, but a degree?
No, for Series 7, you do need a degree.
Really? A bachelor's? Mm-hmm. Or like, could you do like an associate's?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I maybe.
Okay, but for sure, probably a bachelor's then.
Yeah. But for a lot, like the health and life and like a lot of other insurances, like business insurance, like no, you don't need it. Wow. You can just go in and do it. Wow. Right? And then, start opening your book of business.
Going back to what we said earlier, right? So, knowing what you know and what you're doing now, because is this like a career path that you see yourself on for the next 5-10 years, insurance?
I see myself in it for a little bit, right? Because I listened to one of your podcasts, and you were talking about passion and purpose. Yeah. Right? And I'm passionate about helping people save money. And like, the reason why I got into this at all is because, you know, my parents are immigrants, right? They're Haitian, and they haven't had like an explanation about the ins and outs of financial America.
Yeah. Right. My mom's Jamaican, so I get it.
So
That's real talk.
Bro,
That's real talk. And then
exactly.
sometimes you get mad, but then you're like, how do I get mad?
Exactly.
You don't know it.
I didn't know.
You know, and then I'm realizing that this is something that's not taught.
Exactly, and that's what got me like excited about this, because once you start getting into this field, you just start learning more tips and tricks about, you know, financial world of America, right? And like the loopholes that they have, right? The loopholes are there for you to access them and to save yourself some money.
Exactly.
Right? You just need to know how to get there.
Yeah.
Right. So like back to the passion and purpose thing. I'm passionate about finances and like helping, you know, the little person save money, right? Because like what I do at Yen Financial Services is we try to help small businesses save money, right? Like that's the goal, right? Small businesses in the community, right? But going back to purpose, I don't know if this is my purpose, right? Because I know that like the international world and the international realm is what I love to do, right? And I know that there's more capacity building that's there that I can help with. You know, like I can give back to like the plan is, give back to people in America, give back to like, you know, my community and stuff. But there's a global community that can also benefit from that.
Yeah, and so this is your vehicle to funding your purpose, and driving your purpose, and
Exactly.
allowing you to, especially in those third world countries, or if you want to make an impact, you probably need 20, 30 policies on a consistent basis, or and then that covers all your expenses.
Exactly.
You know, having the liability of having to pay for it with an asset like residual income.
Exactly.
And then you match that up, and then now you're allowed to really do what you want to do. And because to me, the ultimate freedom is time freedom.
Exactly.
When you're void of not having to be somewhere.
40 hours of your life into a room.
Well, it's not even the 40. It's like this is not your 40 hours. Like, you're not building towards your ultimate dream with these 40 hours. Like, you're building towards someone else's dream.
Exactly.
Like, if I was building towards my dream 40 hours a week, that's different.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy.
Just 40 hours?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, when you're in the opposite end of that spectrum, it's like, how do I get to the point where my time is my time?
Exactly.
Do it. You know, like finding something that you actually want to do.
That's what it is.
And I want to spend mad hours reviewing contracts, finding businesses, you know, linking up and building partnerships, building bridges, you know, meeting marketing needs, you know, scouting, helping people financially or whatever the case may be, finding, you know, relationships to put them together. It's like, I'm willing to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to do it, you know. And it's like, but it took me doing a lot of different things to find out, okay, that's what I want to, and not only what I want to do, but how I want to do it. You know, next level. Not even just finding what you want to do, but how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it from your home? Do you want to do it in an office? You know, because some people can't function in an in-home office. There's too many distractions.
Yeah, too much going on.
Too much going on. Some people it's like the gym. No, I can't work out in my crib. I like going to the gym, you know. It's like people that are stronger than me, people that are weaker than me, people that are just as strong as me, like single, and it's like something about that atmosphere and that environment. You know, some people can just get it in at the crib, get a full sweat and go on, you know, but it's like knowing yourself and trying
self-awareness.
Trying enough things to know yourself. That's because that's the thing. Like, not a lot of people are intentional about trying to know themselves. Like, try to know yourself.
Try to know yourself first. That's the first step before you want to do anything else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Can't help other people if you can't help yourself.
That's a fact. Yeah, because how are you gonna be the expert? You're not expertly helping yourself. It's like I always like think of my pet peeve like an overweight trainer.
Yeah.
How you gonna train me?
You're gonna tell me, yeah. But
you know what I'm saying? But it also depends on the type of training, though. You and that's another thing. It's like, you might be overweight, but you're a powerlifting trainer. So you might be able to bench 800 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
You look 300, but you might be able to bench 800.
Yeah.
So it's like, knowing, okay, like, why do I want this coach? And knowing the questions. That's another thing, too. It's like, you got to know the questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important. Like, knowing questions and being open-minded.
Yeah, just gotta be curious.
Yeah.
If you're curious, the questions will come.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's where like the faith comes in, because you move in just the energy, energy in the your mindset, like it can take you, like how we're saying, everything can really change if we all just like, you know what, let's change it.
Let's change it, exactly.
Roll it down.
If everyone was on board.
No one's cynical.
Yep.
No one's cynical. No one's playing around. We're serious. Let's change it. Everything would change. Every bad area, New Orleans roads will finally get fixed.
Yeah.
I swear to God, in weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
There will be enough housing for everyone. There's enough housing for everyone. There's enough food for everyone. I worked at a sorority at UF. We would throw away pounds of food every day.
For what? Why?
and we're just a sorority. Imagine restaurants, you know what I'm saying? Imagine whatever. It's like everything, we can cure everything. That's why
I saw something on the internet. There was like a dumpster of like outside a restaurant, and there were cops protecting the dumpster from people who were hungry trying to go in there and get the food. Like what is that? Yeah. Like what?
That wasn't even scripted. That was just like,